We should probably talk about what's going on right now with the current status of immigration in this company. In this country, because there's a lot of like disturbing stuff going on in the news. I'm definitely, I definitely don't approve of what I see going on. My heart goes out to everybody that's experiencing the fear and the victimization of being targeted for deportation and all that. What are your thoughts on the current events?
I think they trying to start something that they might not be ready for. And I you know what? Like here's the thing with me, right? Because on the same topic of the new project, there's a song on there that I released with the project. I actually released it prior to the project. It's called La Raza. Right, and it wasn't made for protest. It wasn't like something that I made to capitalize off the situation or anything like that. It was just a moment. I'm always making songs for our people to have a voice. Some that our people could just slap that reps us. And a lot of people were, asking me like, hey, man, like, you get the typical comments like, if you guys love y'all country so much, like, why y'all so worried about this one? But if you look at that music video, and I can't speak for everybody, I speak for myself. If you look at that music video, I have a Salvadorian flag that I'm holding. I have a Mexican flag around my neck, but I also have an American flag around my neck, right? Because I was born here, but my blood is Mexican. My blood is Salvadorian. We rap for our people and where our parents come from. And they came over here to give themselves a better life and happen to have us in the process. And, don't get twisted. I love where I'm from. I just think that we're in a state right now where the government forgets that the immigrants play a major role in building this country from the ground up. Whether it's, physical, economic growth, like we play a big part. And we're not talking about just Latinos, bro. We're talking about, the Asians. Obviously the Haitians have been getting their own set of, deportation and all that, which, like I said, I got a little clip in the project where I talk about it. But I think everybody is, everybody deserves due process, right? And I think that deportation is not new, bro. You know what I mean? My pops from Mexico, my pops done got deported a few times. Matter of fact, my pops in Mexico right now from getting deported. But here's the difference, though. The people that I used to see get deported was people that used to come from places like Mexico or whatever. They'll get locked up. They'll do their term here, and then they get deported back. Those type of people, like my pops included and other family members, they take that to the chin because they know, like, okay, I did what I did. Now I'm back home. Ain't no shade to that, right? But all these families and all these people that's just working hard, bro. You pulling up to people's jobs. I see videos of people pulling up to the car wash, taking people mid-shift. You know what I mean? Like, that's all they trying to do, right? You got the handful of people that, might not take advantage of the opportunity or the land of the free that they came to, and they might be breaking the rules or whatever you may see. But there's that majority, and I say majority, bro, because majority, 90%, I'm going to say, is out here to do the right thing, to do it the right way, to put their kids on. And that's what I got a problem with. When 100%. You see all these these innocent immigrants. And that's, obviously that's the term that they done put on us, right? Illegals, things like that. If you go back to 2016, last time we was in, this presidency, I released a song called Son of Some Illegals. And I had to bring this up the other day because we see it all the time, right? We see the ICE raids happening. We see Free Palestine, all that everybody's been talking about recently. Go watch Son of Some Illegals back in 2016, 17. I did a video in Oakland where we were in a protest, and those signs say the exact same things that they say today. Free Palestine. Right.
It's an ongoing struggle.
Nobody's illegal on stolen land.
Yeah.
It's just what it is, bro. It's crazy. It's just crazy to really see it. I was just in LA yesterday, and bro, there's really military trucks turning left at the stoplight like it's regular, a whole fleet of them.
Right.
And everybody's just running. Everybody's just hiding. Ain't nobody outside right now.
And that's not to fight a war against an invading army, that's for our own citizens, our own people that are using their
Not to
First
mention,
Amendment rights.
You deploying these soldiers whose family are in the same boat.
Yeah.
Like these majority of these soldiers are first generation, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
They doing what they can to try to give their parents legal status.
So one thing that bothers me when this subject comes up is that people say, we're not against immigrants, we're just against illegal immigrants, which to me is bullshit.
Right.
Because the crime of illegally, quote unquote, immigrating somewhere is walking across a fucking imaginary line, right? That in itself is not criminal. Like you said, if you coming over here to do some criminal shit, which, like you said, is a vast minority.
Right.
All right, I get it, but motherfucker, we got criminals here.
Yeah.
Born and raised.
Yeah.
We got a criminal in the White House. Literally, dude facing criminal charges.
I ain't never seen Latino on the news for shooting up no school.
All
no
that,
crazy shit.
all that. We got plenty of own problems homegrown right here, and it's what's happening is that a lot of hardworking people are being used as a scapegoat for these problems. And either way, you could say, "Oh, I'm cool with immigrants, just not the illegal ones." But like, what effect do you think this has on immigration if people are coming here to work, like you said, and basically being subject to, deportation, raids, all types of assaults on their freedom just for working at a fucking car wash or working at a restaurant?
And people forget, bro. Like, you hear a lot of
schools, people trying to go to school.
That's what it is. And in the song that I got, I say we got some people in the fields and got some suited up. They taking jobs that others dodge, but we don't do enough. Right? Like,
right.
We doing the jobs, our people doing the jobs that your people won't do. And you making it seem like it's tampering with your bag.
No, our whole economy is based off that kind of labor, and it's been that way honestly since slavery, right? It's basically people paying people below standard wage or no wage to do jobs that are generally undesirable, right? So I applaud you for using your voice to speak out against that, using your music.
Man, I think
it sucks right now because you do that, you say your opinion on this stuff, and next thing you know, your comments are flooded.
Oh,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
bro. I mean,
people, I be losing fans sometimes. I be like, good riddance, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you are down with that shit, then yeah, please unfollow me.
And everybody got their opinion.
Right.
We all entitled to ours. But you got to understand where we come from, though.
Right.
I can't speak for the reason that other people stand up for that shit. But my mom came this way. My dad came this way. I'm here because of that.
Right.
Yeah, so I posted the other day, right? I think it was Fresno State, bro. It was like the biggest group of Latinos graduating from a university, and it was like, bro, it was thousands of them. I'm talking about like everybody graduating, trying to take advantage of the opportunities that they parents done created.
Right.
Matter of fact, I seen on the internet the other day, it was a dad with his son had just graduated. And he said, while you guys are trying to tear down the country, we just here trying to build it up. We trying to build your next generation, bro.
Right.
The next generation that's going to graduate and do something that's going to play a part in the economic growth of the country once again.
Right.
Because people forget, bro. I mean, let's not act like, this country was built by the immigrants and obviously the people who was forced into labor. And that's another conversation, right? But the immigrants play a big part.
I think it's this, honestly, I think it's the same conversation, brother, because, and not to try to counter what you're saying, but when you say, and this is a slogan I use, no human being is illegal on stolen land, right? You have to look at it that this land was stolen, right? And people have even tried to counter that and say, no, it was conquered. No, there was wars fought and all that, yeah, but actually some of this land was given in deals. And that deal was, yeah, you can come stay over here, but this is our shit and we live over here. Okay, I agree. And that agreement was broken.
Yeah.
That's stolen. And also, there's a difference between like conquering somebody, and there's a difference between robbing somebody for their shit by force, and coming in and killing their family and saying, "All right, get the fuck out." Right. So that's how this country was built, and it's like hypocrite shit to ignore that part of our history and then point fingers at people that are just trying to come here to enjoy the freedom that's basically advertised on the Statue of Liberty.
Right. Well, I mean, that's what we used to be, right? We used to like encourage people to come here.
Right.
It was the land of the free, and everybody pushed the American dream.
Right.
You know, I don't know, man. It's just crazy. What I can do, well, here's the thing with me. What I say I can do and will always do is try to use my platform to shed light, try to use my voice for the people. You know what I mean? I ain't perfect. I ain't saying like I'm this role model or nothing, but I stand on what I believe in. You know what I mean? And I don't really give a fuck about what I lose for standing on what I believe in. That's just the type of individual that I am, because I see this shit crucial, bro. Some of these videos that I'm seeing on my timeline just ain't cool. I'm talking about they ain't even asking for ID.
Yeah.
They're not even asking, do you got papers, documentation? It could be me.
Well, that's the scary thing that people don't realize, is that if they can violate people's rights to one group,
right,
you might be next, man. You know what I mean?
Brown. You know what I mean? I'm brown.
Yeah.
You know, you might look at me and be like, yeah, we'll ask questions later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's what's, bro, you know, even for the kids, bro, a lot of kids are being traumatized right now.
Right.
But then at the end of the day, bro, like I said, I got love for this country. Is where I'm from. You know, I was born here, you know, but I think that right now we're in a state where people are losing, you know, and I say that, look, I'm going to leave it at this. Same thing, same record, La Raza. You know, I say at the end of my verse, I say, but it's still Taco Tuesday on Tuesday,
man,
ain't it?
Man, oh man.
You know what I mean? Like you could do all this shit talking. You can try to take us out. You can like downplay the people, and then you gonna hit that taco truck, or you gonna hit that Taco Bell. That
you're still
that
gonna
water.
You're still gonna try to benefit.
Come on, you still gonna try to eat this culture. You know what I mean? Like, it's that, bro. And you know what I can do is continue to push my culture in ways, even if it ain't like verbally. I can, you know, I just had a listening party at Empire, right? We had some executives here. We had some fans. We had, you know, people that play some type of part in the music industry. Ask everybody what they ate. All Mexican shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was all, I like, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm bringing the culture. You know what I mean? Whether it ain't always gotta, I don't always push the envelope by, you know, talking shit. You know, I do it sometimes for sure. But for the most part, I just continue to push my culture on people, make them fall in love. You know, it was crazy because I'm like, I don't know if anybody done ate this before. You know what I mean? But I know everybody in here eating it. You know what I mean? I walk outside and I see, you know, like my friend Damo, and, you know, they eating flautas, or, you know, I see power players like Tina Davis enjoying this Mexican plate, man. Like that's what I do it for.
There you go.
Know, because I like to push my culture on other people. And I'm big on cultures, bro.
Yeah.
I'm big on cultures. I grew up in a town. And like I said, I'm the same way when I go anywhere else, any other environment, I'm soaking in other people's cultures. You know what I mean? It's Bay Area shit.
I'm right there with you, bro. That's why I wanted to have this conversation with you and, you know, have the opportunity to use our voices so that people out there can soak some of this up. And I applaud you using your music to speak out, and it's more real knowing that you lived it.
Recognize where you got the game. We got our own style, got our own slang. Northern California is a West Coast thing. This is the history of the Bay. Recognize where you got the game. We got our own style, got our own slang. Northern California is a West Coast thing. This is the history of the Bay.